I'm going to talk about two different types of world-class campaigns. The first would be the pre-digital era, as I would call it, and the second would be as we know today, the digital era. They are world-class for a number of different reasons. The first being lack of data and analytics, and the digital era really all about the data and analytics. So I'll start with the launch of Atlantis in Dubai in 2008. It was the largest fireworks display in the world. In 2008, it was also the Beijing Olympics, and my brief from Sheikh Mohammed and the CEO of Atlantis in Dubai was that they wanted a fireworks display larger than Beijing. Operationally, it was a massive challenge. As you can imagine, the scale of Dubai houses a number of thousand residents as well as visitors to all the hotels bordering on the island itself. So safety was a massive concern, security, bringing all the celebrities from around the world in and out of the Palm was a major challenge. And then while the budget was $20 million, and it seems like a huge amount of money in 2008, given the brief that it needed to be the largest fireworks display in the world, it was a small budget. And I had to also organize for Kylie Minogue to be the entertainment for the night. So a massive challenge, but a very successful launch. Following that, the week thereafter, it was a political world-class launch for me. It was the arrival of the QE2 into Dubai. Why was it political? The British were not happy with the UAE, and in particular Nakheel, the company who I work for purchasing the QE2, which is to this day very dear to the British hearts. So I had to create a mock event for fear of media backlash and protesters. I had to get a welcoming party, and I had to enlist the support of the British and the UAE Navy, the police, the army, Nakheel security. I had to organize, at that time the A380 had just been launched, and I organized for thousands of flotillas to bring the QE2 in, following Sheikh Mohammed's Dubai, his super yacht. And then when she arrived, and amidst all the flags, the UAE and the British flags, then have a fireworks display. The challenge there, of course, not only political, the second biggest challenge was the budget. So we'd spent the marketing budget the week before at Atlantis. I had $50,000 to create a mock event, which, if you look at the media, was a huge success. I will then move on to the digital era. While I am very proud of this, it is only one of the examples that I can share with you today. One of my clients is a company called 43 Air School. They are the largest African pilot trainer. They wanted to digitize their business. And if you can imagine, pilots today, they come out of school and they are young millennials. And for them, it's not the old school marketing approach that will get them to enlist and become pilots. It's really the digital era. So my approach was to analyze this historical data, to revisit and do a complete audit on their social media, looking at things like their keywords, their Google ads, their number of followers, drilling down into the followers, looking at the data that I could find out of the analytic platforms, looking at the engagement, looking at the click-through rates, looking at, they did not understand the customer acquisition costs, so really introducing that methodology and thinking into their platform, and to also start getting them thinking about customer lifetime value. I developed an inbound marketing strategy. I repositioned their brand, and I had to, through this whole process, ensure that I funneled leads to increase the marketing qualified leads. The result, very proudly, an increase of 300% in sales after only 3 months of implementing the digital campaign.